Hello, Facebook friends. I want you to see a site that I've been trying to get the administration to do for more than a month. Look at this. We finally got the city to put out a warm-up bus. You know that I've been talking about this almost every night, making the case for the city to put out this warming bus to help the homeless. You can see people on this bus right now. We had a encounter with the mayor's chief of staff. Let me flip this over. We talked to the mayor's chief of staff earlier, and he basically said that it was a. She basically said that it was a Band-Aid. That's what he called it, and certainly I disagreed with that. I knew it was not a Band-Aid. The homeless who were with me said the same thing. He was calling it. He was calling it basically symbolism, and like I said, a Band-Aid. And that was an interview outside of his office when the homeless went to the mayor's office on Valentine's Day with their protest that said "Have a heart for the homeless." I was there, and I got a chance to question for the first time the Tishaura Jones administration about why they weren't putting a warm-up bus out here. I've been doing this, you've heard me, for more than a month, making the same plea day after day after day for the homeless. It's more than just a bus being here. There are volunteers aboard on this bus, and what they do is they find out where the shelter beds are, shuttle them to the shelter beds. So not only are they able to get warm here, but they have the vans just like over here. You'll see people getting ready to load up on these vans, and they will take them to shelters. They will take them to where shelter beds are. So they'll have a place for the night. So they'll be going someplace for the night. And that's how the system works. The homeless, the bus fills up, and then they shuttle off the homeless to various locations. Audra, I want to talk to you with Winter Outreach, St. Louis Winter Outreach. We've been talking for a while.
We have.
What are your thoughts about seeing this city warm-up bus here?
Yeah, we're very excited. They called this weekend and told us that they would help us out, so we're very excited. A metro bus is much bigger and easier to navigate and walk through than our school bus, but our school bus is finally fixed and back in action, so we have both of them here, so we're very happy about that.
So what are your thoughts that the city finally put a bus out here?
Yeah, we're just very grateful.
Why is that important?
Well, I think it's important from all the reasons we've already covered.
Go ahead, but we just like, for people who are just tuning in late to see this, because I know I've been pushing this for a while now.
Yeah, so for the past few years there hasn't been a warming bus. That's why we bought our own bus. Years ago they did it just like this on a metro bus with DHS staff, so we're very grateful. They're not staffing the bus, but they're doing the driver and everything like that. Bi-State is helping us, so we don't have to drive it or anything like that. So we ended up buying our own bus this year because the need was so great, because it's a central access point to get into shelter.
Oh, and your thoughts about the city also now pitching in the help. What's your feeling about that?
Yeah, we're grateful. We've always been grateful. We're always happy to talk to anybody willing to do the work. So
at least the city is pitching in and doing this.
Yeah.
So that's a help, because we had talked about it many times. I want to talk to you for a second. We had talked about that many times, because your bus had broken down a few times too.
Yep.
And was out of commission. At least 3 days that you wanted it in commission.
Anytime it was out of commission, we still shuttled, but it's hard when you can't see the bus, you don't know it's here. But yeah.
Right. It was out of commission sometimes. But any event,
we come no matter what when it's 25 or below, but yes.
And you've got help now.
Yep, with this bus.
That's a good thing. All right, thanks. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
All right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Give me a name of your organization, Mike.
Operations, any means necessary.
Mike, what are your thoughts about seeing the city bus out here?
It's about time. It's my thoughts. My only concern is that there is better communication, because as we've been told that the city bus is going to only be out here from 5 to 7, which is the same time that the warming bus is out here. So now that the warming bus is back fixed, which today is the first day since it's been cold, it would have been a little better coordination for the city bus to come at a different time. That way it can better
stay here longer.
Yes, sir. To better benefit the unhoused, especially knowing that 5 to 7 is the usual time that the warming bus or the outreaches are down here. So yeah, it would have been better beneficial if they changed the time a little bit to help the unhoused.
Or stay later.
Definitely. Yes, sir.
Right, to do that, because I know that the bus you had been out for a few days. You had a kind of a workaround
Definitely.
to try to get around it, but at least you got the city doing something.
Yes, sir. And like it's definitely good to see them out here, 100%. Yes, sir.
It's been a minute, because I've been talking about this for
Months.
more than a
Yes, sir. And it's definitely from the pressure that been placed on the administration to put this warmer bus out there. Even though they denied or said that it wouldn't even help, it's still good to see it here, and it'd be nice to see it here for the long run and not just temporarily.
Do you think my pressure helped the stories that I've been doing?
100%. I feel like your stories is the lead, what got us to this point right here.
But basically, they can do more.
Yes, sir.
Is what you're saying. You're saying, okay, this is a start,
Yes, sir.
but more can be done.
Because at first they said they wouldn't do this.
They said it was a Band-Aid.
Yes, sir.
It's chief of staff.
So it's as easy as they said that, then they could have put the bus out then also.
Mm-hmm. Remember, his chief of staff said it's just a Band-Aid, but clearly,
Just days ago.
just Valentine's Day.
Yes, sir.
They said it's a Band-Aid, it's just a symbol, we don't need to do it. Now a turnaround.
Like night and day.
And the thing about it is, you guys have been out here every day. I mean, even when the city wasn't putting its bus out, you guys, and that's your bus down there, you guys had your bus out here to help. Maybe it didn't work all the time, but then you tried to figure out workarounds, right, to at least do something. So you guys have been out here all the time, regardless of what the city was doing. You guys decided that you were going to do something and you were going to help the homeless regardless. Audra, let me get you here for a second. What made you guys so determined to do this regardless of what the city was doing?
It's our care for people. We love all our people, so we feel like the treating each other as equal is the best thing, no matter what.
I want to ask you that question. What made you guys have been out here regardless when the city had no bus out here, and despite what the city was doing, you guys have been determined, have been out here every night, brought a bus, had people shuttled to the homeless shelters. Regardless of the city's inaction, you guys are here taking action. What made you guys so determined?
Yeah, St. Louis Winter Outreach has been doing this work for 20 years, so it doesn't change with the administration. It's very much a need, and we hope every administration, whether it's the same one or a new one, will help us in these ways and listen to the people that are on the ground that know what works and know that what's helpful. But yeah, just our care for people. We know people will die when it's -2 degrees outside. We know people sleep outside on grates. We know people aren't making it into shelters. We know there's a need, so we just keep doing it.
What makes you guys so determined?
Human life. People will die if we aren't doing it, if there aren't shelter beds. Yeah.
Audra, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the work you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. That was Audra. She's from St. Louis Winter Outreach. They had just a full bus a few seconds ago, and they shuttled those people to a shelter where they will be for the rest of the night. They'll be at that shelter for the rest of the night, and certainly this is a welcome development. And you heard that they wish there was more coordination because the city bus is out here. And let me just show you this, and I've showed you this before, where the people, homeless advocates, urban services, and Winter Outreach, where they bought a school bus because the city was not putting out a warm-up bus, so they bought a school bus to try to fill the need. The bus breaks down sometime, but they are still out here, still helping. Even when the bus breaks down, they try to get some people out here to take folks to the shelter. And so they are just determined to make this work. The city really Johnny-come-latelys. I'm glad that they're doing something, but certainly more needs to be done. Like you've heard me talk about the city's need to get a warm-up bus out here. You've heard me for more than a month talking about the need for a warm-up bus, for the city to put one out. They need to have the city human services workers on this bus like they did before. One of the issues and problems that the volunteers have is that, that the homeless advocates have, is that they operate with volunteers. And I'll go back to it, when Mayor Cruzen did it, they had city workers here. And that's a critical need too. They had the city workers here from human services and city departments to help man this bus. One of the key challenges for these volunteer organizations is sometimes lack of volunteers, lack of people here to do the work. So we'd like, since the city is making the start, that's a good thing. It's making the start. But we also want to make sure that there's not as much overlap. The private bus, the school bus, is out here from 5 to 7. The city decided to put its warming bus out here from 5 to 7. So it probably could keep its warm-up bus out here longer, or bring the warm-up bus here earlier. A little coordination with the homeless advocacy groups would help, so that there's not as much overlap, but certainly it is a step in the right direction that the Tishaura Jones administration is trying to take. There's a lot more work that needs to be done. There's a lot more steps they need to take. It's a good beginning. And let me phrase it like that. This is a beginning. Like I said, I've been pleading with and asking the administration for more than a month to put a warm-up bus out here to be able to help the homeless. Now, with this wicked weather coming, the temperature is going to get below zero, as it did before when I was asking Mayor Tishaura Jones to put out a warm-up bus. We have asked this before. They wouldn't. Like I said, I had a chance to talk to the chief of staff about this on Valentine's Day. During a protest, he came out of the office, and I finally got a chance to question the administration, and they were saying basically that the warm-up bus was a Band-Aid, that it was just a symbol. Obviously, our feeling is that it's more than just a symbol, and so now it appears that maybe the administration is starting to get it. Maybe they understand that it's more than just a Band-Aid, more than just a symbol, because they have at least now put out the warm-up bus. Like I said, it's a beginning, but more needs to be done. They've got their bus out at the same time as the school bus bought by the homeless advocacy groups. There needs to be better coordination so that either their bus stays out longer, it comes earlier, or like I said, some better coordination. But that can be done. Also, when the buses were here before, in 2017, when Mayor Cruzen did it, she actually had city workers on the bus too, from human services, and they were able to help the homeless population. They were able to get them pointed in the right direction for services and everything. So that also was a help. The volunteers, well, right now, like St. Louis Winter Outreach and other groups, they still have to have the volunteers do this, have the volunteers do everything that needs to be done. There is one of the vans, presumably they're used to take the homeless to shelters. What they do is people come here, they will rest, they will sit on the warming bus, be able to have a place to come here, and then volunteers here will be able to call the various shelters to see who has beds, and they will shuttle the homeless to those shelters where there are beds so they can stay the night. So it's more than just a bus. So there's a lot involved in all this, and it's a critical element, a very important tool this bus is. And so the administration, like I said, Chief of Staff said, it was just a Band-Aid, but clearly it's more than that. It's evidenced by the fact that the city has now finally put out a warming bus. Like I said, the mayor has finally had this warming bus put out. There's still there's more needs to be done, coordinating the times and everything. It would be nice to have city workers to be able to help as well as was done before. But this is It's a start for Mayor Tishaura Jones, who, despite the cold weather that we have had, has refused to put a warm-up bus. I have continued my criticism of the mayor because of the lack of the warm-up bus, but we do have at least the bus here. More needs to be done. I, of course, am going to stay on top of all this, my Facebook friends.